Macmillan Audio presents A Stranger on the Beach by Michele Campbell. Narrated for you by January Lavoy. We are only as blind as we want to be. Maya Angelou. Before the Storm. 1. There was a stranger on the beach. He was standing in front of my house, staring at it like he was casing it to rob. Sometimes fate sneaks up on you. But Aidan Callahan didn't sneak up on me. He was brazen. He stood there in the middle of the sand, staring up at my brand-spanking new beachfront house, looking like he was up to no good. I saw him clearly as I looked through the wall of windows, over the infinity edge pool to the ocean beyond. Yes, he was gorgeous. But I was a married woman of 20 years standing who loved her husband, and I barely noticed that. What I noticed was that this guy looked strong. Dangerously so. And he dressed like a townie. Baggy athletic shorts, tank top, the glint of a gold chain at his neck. People like him resented people like me, and sometimes they robbed them. There had been a string of robberies recently of some of the big houses. The summer people thought the local cops were dragging their feet about solving them, maybe because the culprits were local boys. When I saw Aidan standing there, those robberies were the first thing that leapt to mind, and a chill went down my spine. I'll tell you everything that happened, starting from the beginning. My first impression of Aidan was that he was a potential thief. If only I'd listened to my instincts, I would have turned and run in the opposite direction. But that's not what I did. I walked toward him, and I will always blame myself for what came after. 2. It was a hot, sultry day, 2 weeks past Labor Day, and the bluff had cleared out. The summer people were all back in the city, leaving only me and my next-door neighbor, old Mrs. Eberhard. She lives in a saltbox shack on a wide lot that's coveted by every real estate developer in the East End. I live in the type of place that people build after they tear down houses like hers. She has a yappy little dog that wakes me up at 5:30 every morning. As you can imagine, we didn't have much to say to one another, so basically, I was at the beach alone. I'd been waiting around all day for the technician from the burglar alarm company to show up for the installation. The house had that fresh paint smell. Details were still being attended to, and the alarm was one of the last items on the punch list. The company gave me a window from 10 to 2 for installation, which I said was fine, because I had work to do preparing for the huge housewarming party I would be throwing in a matter of days. Finalizing guest lists, working out catering menus, scheduling the delivery of the tent, negotiating with the valet parking company, angling to get a photographer from Avenue magazine to show up and take pictures for the society column. On and on. Hours passed, and the alarm guy still hadn't showed. At 4, I called to complain, and they told me the technician was overbooked, and they'd have to reschedule for next week. Typical. I thought about reaching for the bottle of gin in the cabinet and mixing myself a nice strong cocktail to ease my frustration. But it was hours till sunset, and I decided to be good. I'd go for a run on the beach instead. As I laced up my sneakers, I got the urge to text my daughter. Hannah had just left for college, and I was having trouble letting go. I gave the hair elastic on my wrist a good snap to feel the clarifying sting.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?